We're back. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute, yeah.
And we have maybe some news to share.
You want to tell them, or do you want me
We can tell them together.
Okay.
We're pregnant. So that has been kind of taking up all of our time recently.
Yeah.
That's why we've been a little MIA. But we're happy to be back on YouTube.
And with this good news.
Yeah, so kind of started the process
a while ago.
Yeah, I'd say this past summer. So
Yeah.
like summer of 2024 is kind of when we started meeting with our fertility doctor, talking about timeline, kind of what it was going to entail for just a second transfer. And all we really had to do leading up was or all I had to do, I guess.
Yeah, not me.
Ultrasound and like some blood work. So it was a lot easier this time around rather than Shepherd.
Granted,
go ahead.
I was about to say, granted, our fertility clinic is in a different state, so that made it just a tad bit more difficult, or at least more planning.
More challenging, yeah, because obviously we live in Louisiana. We have a toddler now, and so I had to fly to Utah a few times by myself because I'm the one carrying and I'm the one pregnant. But yeah, all in all though, it was easy this time around.
Comparing it to the first time, yes, much easier.
So we had our transfer September 18th, Whitney's birthday.
Ooh, special.
And now I am almost 20 weeks pregnant, so I'm almost halfway there.
Past the first trimester.
Which was brutal. Probably...
I was going to say, compare it to Shepherd.
It wasn't any worse, like symptom-wise, about the same symptoms. I would just say it was a lot harder having a toddler and being in the first trimester. Because obviously,
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I can't just come home and sleep like I could when I was pregnant with Shepherd. So now I have to come home and obviously take care of our toddler and play with our toddler and spend time with him, which I want to do. It's just a lot more challenging, obviously. Being pregnant and nauseous and throwing up with migraines and all that good stuff.
I don't know how she does it. I'm so grateful, but
it's kind of one of those things, you grin and bear it and you just know you have to get through it, I guess.
And there is an end in sight. I think that could also help you.
Yes, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So being pregnant while having Shepherd at home has been a little bit more challenging, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate. That having kids at home, especially younger kids, and being pregnant, it takes a lot out of you just to care for kids in general, but then pregnancy as well. So it's been a little bit of a challenge, just juggling everything.
Well, because you have a child that their health and happiness is still top priority, as well as the health of the unborn child and the mother caring. So it's like juggling all of that is a lot emotionally and physically.
But I will say, pregnancy kind of goes on the back burner, and we've just been really focused on Shepherd. Just because he's almost 2, so he's very active. He's into everything. Dinosaurs are his passion right now.
That's his whole world. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just been a lot making sure he's on top of everything, which does bring us to...
This video is sponsored by Louisiana Healthcare Connections to improve childhood health in our state. Our toddler's health is our top priority, and to stay on top of things, we ensure Shepherd is up to date on his well-child doctor visits.
And these are so important to us to ensure his growth and development are on track, and to allow us as his parents to address any health concerns with his provider.
Yes.
These wellness visits can include dental, hearing, vision, and behavioral health screenings, as well as making sure he's up to date on all of his vaccinations.
And right now, we're in the middle of flu season, and we were most concerned about protecting Shepherd against the flu through vaccination, because the easiest way to protect against the flu is getting your annual flu vaccine. And this is especially important for children ages 6 months to 5 years, because they are at higher risk of suffering from complications from the flu.
We got our son's vaccine right at his doctor's office during his wellness visit, but if your child is 3 or older, you could also get it at the pharmacy.
Here's a little parent tip. As a treat for Shepherd, for doing so well at his doctor's visits, we like to take him to the playground afterward, because he could literally spend all day going down the slides and swinging, and it really makes a fun day out of going to the doctor.
So, friendly reminder from 2 moms to a toddler to make an appointment with your primary care provider today if your child is behind on their wellness visits or vaccinations. And if they're already up to date, just continue to make a priority next year. Okay, so now then going back to getting pregnant, I will say, I kind of already mentioned that this time around it was a heck of a lot easier. So we already had embryos in storage, so we didn't have to do an egg retrieval or anything like that. So it was literally just like the embryo transfer that I was preparing for. So that just entailed saline sonogram, lining check, like leading up, making sure I had a thick lining, and then
Labs.
obviously, labs, and then just medications for me to take, so progesterone and estrogen, and then like birth control a little bit before all of that.
Yeah.
But all in all, people always ask how long from like deciding we wanted to do a transfer to having the transfer. The shortest amount of time we could have done was a month. They did offer it like immediately after we decided. We waited a little bit longer just because it was like a weird time of year. We had a lot going on.
Yeah.
But technically, like all you need really is a month to, at least at our fertility clinic, a month to kind of like tell them, okay, we're ready, and then they do all the things.
And I also think because it was in a different state, doing it in a month would have been a lot.
Yeah.
With working
Yeah.
and having a toddler and all that, it would have been a lot.
Yeah.
But she went out on her own how many times did you go out?
I had to fly out twice by myself,
Yeah.
and I literally, it was like a 24-hour turnaround. Like I was so in and out.
Little fun story on that. One of the trips, I've never, since moving to Louisiana, I never experienced a hurricane before. And she flew out a day before a hurricane hit, and me and Shepherd were here for the first time ever, both of us.
It was stressful because I was supposed to fly out the day of the hurricane, and I had to move it up. It ended up being fine, but of course, like that's all during everything else we have going on.
That's the time you're gone.
I know. And then another question we get is, how did we decide on which embryo? Because we had, what, 2 embryos? 2 embryos to choose from. And we went with the best graded embryo, even though they were almost equally graded. One was a little bit better than the other. This probably would have been the one we would have went with anyways, maybe, but it just kind of made our decision easier because we were just like, let's just do best graded, highest graded one next. And that happened to be a baby girl. So we will be having a girl and adding a girl to the mix. So
Shepherd knows it's a baby sis, so
he points to my stomach and says, "Oh, baby sis."
Well, he'll poke through her belly button.
Yeah,
baby sis.
Yeah. So we're adding a little girl, which is exciting, and I'm due beginning of June.
Yeah.
So
You won't have to suffer the heat of the summer pregnant.
Thank God.
For too
Even
long.
though it starts getting hot here in Louisiana in like March, April.
Yeah.
But thank God I'll have her beginning of June, and then I'll get the summer off for maternity leave, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
But this time around, embryo transfer was a lot quicker, less steps.
And both times that transfers have been done on you, it's been successful, and extremely lucky and grateful for that.
Yes,
Because not
yes.
everybody has that story, but for
It's
us,
just a stressful thing, like just fertility treatment in general is super stressful, but we've been very fortunate that as far as all of the fertility treatments going with me have been very successful and like smooth sailing.
yeah.
So 20 weeks pregnant with a little baby girl due in June. Shepherd's, crazy as ever, but he's so smart and learning so much every day that it's just wild to watch him grow. And it makes pregnancy, like I already said, a lot, I don't know, more tolerable in a way too, because
He
it kind of
takes
takes
your
my mind
mind.
off of things.
Yeah.
So that's where we've been, and that's why we wanted to give y'all an update.
Sorry about the
And
absence.
I know. We'll be more active on here
Yeah.
now that I'm out of the first trimester hell.
Yes. And if you have any specific questions regarding our second transfer or our process,
Cost or what to expect or whatever it may be.
yeah.
Feel free to comment. Also, we'll always take baby name recommendations.
Yeah. We really like surnames
Surnames is first names
or
gender neutral, unique. Doesn't have to be like unheard of, just a little bit more unique. There won't be like 5 of the same name in the same class.
Yeah.
Type deal.
Yeah.
We always love to hear baby name
Yeah.
recommendations as well. But thanks for watching. It's nice to be back.
We'll see you next time. There will be a next time.
There
I
will
promise.
be. It won't be like a 6-month time period off.
No.